Traveling to Horizon Luna Colony. Initiating match. Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Welcome to the first week of tournament, everyone. We are playing Falls Church this week. We, I think, played them a couple times before, either in last season maybe, or might have been in Silver. So hopefully after last week's win, we can pull this out and, you know, make our place in the tournament. So we picked to defend on Horizon Lunar Colony this week because it went very well last week for us. We have a Zarya bot, Diva, Reaper, Mercy, Hanzo, and Moira. So kind of similar to last week. Again, you know, it worked. Why not stick with it? Right now we're watching Mercy, but you can see Falls kind of coming up on that catwalk above, or kind of around the objective. But it looks like we have everybody on the point here. And so they had Winston and Anna, but we took them down. They also have a Zarya bot, and so on the objective there, they also have Reaper, Echo, Mercy, Winston, and Anna. So a couple of the same ones that we've got, but a little different there. You kind of see we are playing a little further back this time, kind of focusing on the objective. It looks like they were starting to maybe group up in a couple spots, but their Echo kind of out in front of the objective. If we follow our Zarya here, as usual, Spot running straight for the objective, kind of hanging out there, which is helpful. Keeps things contested rather than them gaining on the point right away. We follow Diva here, running back toward the objective as they are grouped up on there. But here comes Diva's ult, which went great for us last week. Helped us kind of pull everything out in overtime. Looks like they have Echo, Reaper, and Zarya hanging out on the point, but we have Hanzo coming in with his ult. Unfortunately, just not quite enough to hold things there. Some of these are a little bit tricky because if you step outside of that boundary of the objective at all, you're not considered on it, and so the other team can make their progress right away. You have to really kind of watch your footing. So kind of the same thing that was happening last week, where the other team was coming in from that point up above the objective. We had Reaper with his ult taking out their Zarya so that we couldn't get any progress there. We have Winston and their Mercy up at the top here. So we'll kind of have to watch out for that. It tanks especially, if you don't take out the healer that's standing behind them, it can be kind of useless to keep taking shots at them. We follow our Mercy here, up above objective. Using her ult right now. Still out here a little more room to kind of jump into the fray. Otherwise, it's, you know, she kind of has to stay back a little bit. Kind of squishy.
Surrender to my will. I'm here.
So right now, all of us are crowded around. If the other team comes up from that top window again. And there's Hanzo with his ult. Fantastic. That was awesome. That is one definite disadvantage of being grouped up like that, especially in a really narrow hallway, is that things like Eva's ult and Hanzo's ult can really do some serious damage to your whole team. Kind of go back and watch this way again. There's a few of them up top. They're just going to keep coming in that way. Which, you know, to be fair, a lot of times that does work pretty well for everybody to push through in that one spot. Especially if you look right now, we don't have anybody with an ult here. Reaper's pretty close, but we don't have anybody that can do that serious damage that we've done before. They have Ana and Echo kind of here on this main floor. There's Aryabot again, doing her best to just run to the objective and stand there. R is really sturdy right in the middle there. And we are kind of grouped up a little further back. Reaper's up front. You'll notice this time, especially with this small little window here, we're not playing as far forward as we usually do, and we don't really need to at this point. We have Ana and Zarya back there. Go back up to the Zarya back here. Mercy with a res on Hanzo there.
Victory.
And they ran out of time, so that round goes to us. Fantastic.
Play of the
Clearly, Horizon Lunar Colony is a good map for us. So their Reaper using his ult to get on that point, and he was able to take about 2/3 of that
Thanks for your
time
support.
there. Once he was on the point. Make a little room for the rest of his team.
Traveling to Horizon Lunar Colony. Initiating match.
This time we will be attacking. Last week when we played on this map, I feel like we did pretty well on attack. Most of our rounds ended in overtime. It was pretty stressful, but you know, the result was great at the end. if we take a look here, it looks like they have Zarya, Junkrat, Echo, Mercy, Winston, and Ana. So roughly the same as what they had before, with the addition of Junkrat. We have our Zarya bot, Diva, Reaper, Mercy, Hanzo, and Moira. So sticking with the same lineup as before. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Hi. Thank you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They've got their Zarya bot right next to the objective. Ana is kind of running around there. And we are all kind of grouped up back here.
I'll keep you here.
Our Zarya bot running up to the point as usual. And Hanzo kind of bouncing around there a little bit. Doesn't really make any progress, so they are grouped up there pretty well. There's our Diva and our Moira kind of coming in from the side there. Followed by our Mercy, who very intelligently kind of holding back and stealing from outside. You want people on the objective, but you definitely don't want to risk losing your healer. Especially one like Mercy that can res people. It's really important to have as many people as you can. Hanzo down here kind of alright. It looks like we
Get into position.
are taking the objective here. We've got everybody grouped up into that third section. And we have done it. So now we have 4 minutes and 45-ish seconds to really do our assault on the other objective. And again, same thing, kind of grouped up, but it looks like we are coming in from the bottom a little bit. Let's see if we're kind of side here, but
Get in there.
oh, and then here is Diva with our ult. And that, it definitely did some damage.
Mobility increased. Adaptive circuits engaged.
Look at their echo here.
Adjusting. All systems checked out.
I don't want it. We are on the objective again. There goes their Diva's ult. Here's our Zarya bot as usual. Reaper using his ult very successfully. And so here comes the rest of our team to hang out on the objective here, and as long as we hold it, kind of keep them off, that round is ours. So another successful outing at Horizon Lunar Colony for the Brookfield Magic.
Play of the game.
And it looks like play of the game goes to our Diva. Yes, with this. Use her ult for Diva Bomb there. That's awesome to see. I think we have a little bit of momentum from last time. We had a long run of losses and very close matches that were really frustrating, and so I think there's something to be said for feeling a little bit of confidence coming off of last week, especially when they went into it playing roughly the same lineup on the same map, which honestly is, you know, smart for them. I think it's take advantage of your strengths, and that clearly is a map that they feel confident in and are well equipped to handle here.
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower. Initiating match.
All right, we are on the second round now. We're going to be playing at Lijiang Tower, which is a control map. A little bit different than last time, since there was an attack and defend. This one we are going to both be running at the same sort of neutral point, seeing who can hold it for longer.
5, 4, 3.
We have our
1.
Zarya bot still,
Capture the objective.
Diva, Reaper, Mercy, Hanzo, and Moira. So sticking with the same lineup as last time, which really seems to be working for Brookfield here.
Barrier is on you.
I'm gonna
Go.
switch off of our bot here though. All kinds of
Time to raise my DPS.
And so Diva coming up side here, focusing on their Junkrat. But it looks like actually
Healed up.
their team is pretty well grouped up on the point here. We are trying to come up from the side. There's our Mercy. There is not our Mercy. Follow Hanzo here for a minute. So the point on this one is kind of enclosed. There's doorways on each side and then a window. So if you're holding the point, you can kind of control where the other team is coming from, but because it's so closed in, it's really hard to see that they're coming.
I am not deterred.
Kind of have a big blind spot. Ooh. Hopefully I'm not making everybody seasick. See our team coming up from the spawn point. We have Diva here already, as usual. Zarya. And then we have Moira on the secondary. And Reaper on the point here. But they are already 2/3 of the way to that end point. So Brookfield really needs to kind of come in strong here and push them out if they have any hope of taking it. Unlike the other map that pauses the clock when both teams are on the point. In this mode it doesn't, so even if we are on the point and the other team is on the point, their clock will always keep going up until we have officially taken it, which we did right in overtime there.
Allow me to repair the damage.
But really at this point we have to hang on to the point because there's no room to go back and forth here and fall through. Take control of it, then they will win this round. There's Zarya coming in strong here. And then looks like Brookfield. Oh, we have Reaper on the point. Unfortunately, pushed out of the line there. And that is that round.
Score 0-1.
The control maps are really difficult. There's a definite advantage to taking the point first. Like I said, once you have it, your clock is continually ticking up, even if the other team is trying to take it from you.
A game, girl.
That's funny. Soldier 76 said the same thing.
We were able to grab it at the end there, but just not soon enough and not with not enough
Физкульт, привет.
wiggle room, I think.
3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Round 2. Capture the objective.
So let's follow Diva here. The other team we can see is grouped pretty tightly together. So is Brookfield. We have Diva jumping right in, Zarya jumping right in. The objective is active here, and now it's whoever manages to stay on it at this point will be able to grab it. Falls Church almost had it there for a minute, but we got back. It looks like now they have taken it, so they're going to kind of hang out and just group up there and wait. This point is similar to the last one, in which there's a number of ways to get in, but it is pretty closed off, so you have lots of blind spots. It's really hard for the team holding it to see it coming, and it is a little bit tough because there are so many entrances. You can't just stay focused on one like you could at Horizon. You kind of watch that upper level, and that was it. We had a good push there for a second, and then
Back in the fight.
kind of lost control of it again. Our Moira on the point. 1 on 3, which is not odds that
I
you
will not be defeated so
really like.
easily.
So, Zarya and Mercy, unfortunately, Mercy is no match for the 4-on-1. Got her. Reaper and Diva over on the side here, outside of the objective. Reaper using her ult very astutely. Unfortunately, there's Zarya.
Heroes never die.
These Zaryas today are just really making everything difficult for everybody. We really have to make our push at this point, though they're up at 97. So if we don't get on there and stay on there. Our Diva with Diva Bomb. Their Lucio and Winston still hanging in there, but Brookfield has 3 on the point, but we are in overtime, so if we step outside of that line, we're in trouble. Okay, it looks like we've taken out their Lucio. Oh, there's Zarya back. But all of Brookfield is hanging tight on the point, and so we have taken it. It's just our Zarya bot now, though, and False Church back on the point with 4 of their teammates. We are in overtime, so if we don't make it there, okay.
Victory.
Unfortunately, we just, I think, really were beaten to the point a couple times, and it is really, really tough to recover from that. It's a very clear advantage, whoever gets there first. Their Junkrat using his ult.
Epic.
So now we are tied 1-1, so we will go into a 3rd round here to try and see who is going to take this. It's going to be another week of a close match. So hopefully no heart attacks this time. Waiting for everybody to show us what they can do. So we're going to take a second while everybody figures out what map we're going to do, and we will be back in a minute.
Traveling to Iconville. Initiating match.
We are entering our tiebreaker round here, and we have chosen to play on Eichenwald. It went great for us last week, as the team just pointed out to me between matches. That's not always been the case for us, but that's all right. We are going to give it a chance here. This is a hybrid map, we are defending first here, so we will have to defend this point around the payload, and then they will have to push the payload all the way to the end of the map. And then we will switch sides, turn around, do it again, and we will do it better, I'm sure. We have Zarya, D.Va, Reaper, Mercy, Hanzo, and Moira. Same as we've been sticking with. Nice and consistent, especially compared to the beginning of this season and last season too, where they were kind of trying to get a feel for all of the different heroes. So there was a lot of switching back and forth as we tried to kind of find the right team comp and everybody find the hero that works best for them. I think we've really settled in on this composition. It's been working great for them. We're watching D.Va now playing a little bit forward by their spawn point. False Church kind of coming in as a group. We go back to the objective. Brookfield is holding that there, but the other team coming around the side to try and take it. Battles with Zarya is in the corner of the objective. And their Mercy with a res on their Zarya. Right now, Brookfield is doing a really great job of staying in that square and holding on to the objective, not chasing the other team around like it's a deathmatch mode, which is something that they definitely struggled with at the beginning of this season and in last season, and it's been really great to watch them embrace the different styles of the map and make sure that they are focusing on what the objective is rather than kind of each playing their own match. Their ability to communicate as a team has grown immensely over the last season. D.Va and Reaper moving up toward the other team's spawn point, which is forcing them a little bit to break apart, come up ones and twos, which works fantastically for the rest of them, standing back on the objective, trying to hold the point. False Church has moved up onto the objective. Reaper kind of holding it on his own there. He ult and does some damage, unfortunately, not as much as you would like to see, and since it's the only member of our team there right now. Oh, and there's D.Va. So he was fully responsible for staying within those lines before in order for False Church to not make any progress. Now we have Moira and D.Va up on the point. D.Va's out of her mech. And Mercy coming in. Oh. Mercy revives our Hanzo, but unfortunately is down. So False Church has taken the objective. They'll start moving the payload. They have
the wonders of
almost 3 minutes
medicine.
to get it all the way to the end. Obviously, when they get to the checkpoints, they'll get a little time added. But really, we want to do anything we can now to slow them down. Ideally before they get to that checkpoint, but definitely before they get all the way to the end. One of the ways to do that, if we do that right now, is to kind of distract them. They are... Oh, now they're moving up toward the payload. But before that, they were hanging back and trying to chase down our team, which leaves the payload just sitting there and eats time on the clock. our Reaper using his ult and is able to take out their Junkrat.
Let's see King Kong that.
We'll go back over here. We are pushing against it now. So there's our Hanzo with his ult. Doing a little bit of damage to the other team. It looks like we were able to take them out there. So now our Moira is standing on the payload, pushing it back the other way, undoing some of that progress that they did. They were about halfway to that checkpoint, so anything that we can do to move it back the other way is great. There's the Junkrat being our Zarya.
60 seconds remaining.
They are grouped up on that payload again, but D.Va is up on the top. Contesting it, which is going to stop it from moving. As long as we are also on it, every time we step away though, it pushes forward. And they're doing a really good job of, at this point now, of staying grouped up on it. It moves a little bit faster the more of their team is on it. So really, anything that we can do to distract them and pull them away is going to slow things down. But they are coming up on that checkpoint here. Only a few seconds left, and they have still about 100 meters to go. And we are contesting it here. We'll stay in that overtime as long as both teams are on it. If we can push them off, though, that clock will tick down and they will run out of time. Oh. There's our D.Va trying to use her ult at the last second to make sure. So they did not make it all the way to that first checkpoint to add that little bit more time. So now it is our turn to attack, and we are going to need to push it all the way to that same spot on the map a little bit faster than they did. As long as we can get there sooner than they did, then we will win this one. I suspect we're going to stick with our same lineup since that's been working really well. But we'll find out.
Ready for battle.
So it looks like, yep, we are staying the same. They have Soldier, Junkrat, Mercy, Winston, and Lucio. Kind of a combination of the heroes that they've been playing throughout these matches. They've changed it up a little bit here and there, but mostly stayed consistent.
I believe you are mistaken.
Our boss always standing back at the end of the spawn point, just to, I don't know, take a little bit longer to get there. It was extremely frustrating. All that starts pushes at the door. Forward. It looks like we are not really grouped up here. Oh, there we go. As soon as I say things, they go ahead. Mercy standing behind. D.Va, or Zarya was up at the point, but is a boss and is not great at staying alive. The Reaper is pretty close to the objective, kind of running around trying to get the health. There's Reaper and Moira up at the front. There's our Hanzo.
Get them off me.
See if we can just watch the objective here. to not make everybody seasick. Reaper and Zarya were there. Now it's Zarya inside that square. Or one-track mine. We've got Mercy and Reaper and Moira. And then Diva is kind of around towards the back. So all crowded around or on the point. Their Winston is there just outside the boundary, so that counts. As we slowly tick the clock upwards. Awesome, so we have taken the point, and now we have almost 5 minutes to get it to the checkpoint.
This will heal you.
Really, we just have to make sure that we are staying on task, so that we always have somebody on the payload. Anything that we can do to constantly be pushing it forward is going to be great. We'll go through this first gate here, and it looks like they are they were kind of grouped up behind it, but here they are gathered around the payload, really doing whatever they can to make sure that our team can't get close to it to start the Reaper with his ult. We got their Winston and their Mercy. Our Zarya right there behind the payload. Now we have Diva and Hanzo up there as well. Their Lucio kind of circling back and forth in front of it, just enough to stop it and make sure that it's contested. But we are holding pretty tight around it. As soon as we can get them off, will allow us to move it fairly quickly. But now we are down to under 3.5 minutes, so that time ticks down really quickly. Each of these little setbacks from them definitely makes it a lot harder. We were in the good position of having extra time and not having to go all the way to the end, but anything that they're doing to slow us down is going to definitely reduce our chances of winning here, and we do not want that. They're doing a really good job of staying grouped up right in front of the payload so that we can't make any progress. It's extremely frustrating. Ideally, I think if we can kind of send them out here and then play a little further forward so that they can't get all the way to the payload while the rest of our team works on pushing it forward, that would be great. But we'll see what they choose to do. So now we have our team standing right on top of it. Oh, there's Hanzo with his ult. Definitely thinning the herd a lot. So hopefully we can push it through this first gate and get up toward that checkpoint. And again, the more of our team we can have on the payload, the better it's going to be, the faster it's going to move. After we take that first objective, the other team's spawn point is all the way back toward the end. So that gave us an opportunity to make some progress while they are trying to head back towards the payload. But now they are on it again. Our Diva with her ult, unfortunately. Smithy with fun. Up above. But there's Reaper with his ult. Fantastic. Their Winston has his ult if he can hold on through this. He's got a little bit of room to move it forward here. So now we have our whole team on top of these payloads pushing. They are coming up from behind us. So now it's going to test it again. We only have 25 seconds. We have to move it all the way to where they did, or we will not win. Unfortunately. Oh, there's our Diva here. Five seconds left. There's our Zarya bot. Good old Zarya bot.
Victory.
So unfortunately we got really, really close there, but they slowed us down enough that they ate up the clock, and it really, really hurt us.
Of the game.
Our Reaper right at the end there when they were in overtime. Doing a fantastic job. Really well timed. So unfortunately, this one is going to go to Falls Church. We played a really close match, but we did not win. So we will be out of the tournament at this point. Falls Church will move forward. So that is the end of our season. But I'm sure we will all be back in a few weeks. I don't know what the dates are for the next season, but we have improved so much over the course of this season. I'm really, really proud of these kids. They've learned a lot. The difference in their play between the beginning and now is phenomenal. So I can't wait to see what next season will be like.